Wait. Just, just a second. Just a second, brother. We'll go. Okay, the YouTube streaming is there. I don't know. Okay. So now is it okay? Like image, everything is coming fine. Now everything is fine. Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture of momentum integral method for boundary layer solution for flow over a flat plate. This momentum integral method deals with what? Definite integration of the boundary layer equation over the boundary layer thickness. Okay. In the earlier lecture, we have already derived the governing equation for the boundary layer for flow over a flat plate. There is no other pressure gradient term is not there because the boundary pressure gradient in the boundary layer is provided by the free stream. So there is no pressure gradient for a flat plate. Okay, and also there is no Y momentum equation. So this is the equation in the boundary layer theory we got in the earlier lectures. So now let's do integrate the continuity equation over the boundary layer, right? What is the boundary layer thickness? The boundary layer thickness span over the distance from y is equal to 0 to y is equal to delta, right? That is the boundary layer thickness. So with that thickness, let's integrate the continuity, mass continuity equation. So this mass continuity equation, when I integrate with a definite integral interval of 0 to delta, with variable equal to dy, because the dy is the direction in which the flow is varying. So if I do it, what I get it? So this term will be the left side term, minus 0 to del infinity, minus integration of 0 to delta del u by del x dy. This term comes to the right side in the negative side. These terms equal how much? Del v integration of del v equal to v. Okay, from 0 to delta, right? So what is the value at v equal to 0? Because of the no penetration condition at v y is equal to 0, v equals to how much? 0, because there is in a solid boundary v also 0. At the boundary layer, we assume that v equal to v infinity. So that's why when y is equal to delta, v is equal to v infinity. So what we got from this equation, v infinity equals to minus 0 to delta del u by del x into del y. Okay, so now let's come integrate the momentum equation for the boundary layer over a flat plate along the boundary layer. So let's integrate term by term. Okay, there are three terms. Let's integrate term 1, term 2, and term 3. Right? The term 1 equal to 0 to delta u del u by del x with respect to dy will integrate. Right? The term 2 will be 0 to delta v del u by del y into dy. Right? So again here I will do integration by parts. Okay, first into integration of the second. Okay, first into integration of the second equals to dy into dy cancel, du integration, if you do it, you get u. V into u, the definite integral equal to 0 to delta minus derivative of the first into integration of the second into whole integration, right? If you do it, the same thing. So this term what will have derivative of the first del v by del y into integration of the second del u by del y. If you integrate it, it becomes u. Then whole integration from 0 to delta, right? So this term will be there. So now let's simplify the term 0 to delta v into del u by del y into dy. If you do integration here, expand it in terms of the limit at u is x y is equal to 0, both u is equal to 0 and v is equal to 0. At y is equal to delta, both v equal to infinity and u equal to infinity. So this term equals to how much? V infinity into u infinity. This term will be plus. Okay, because u del v by del y. So what we do over here? Del v by del y equals to how much? Minus del u by del x, because of the mass continuity equation, del u by del x plus del v by del y equals to 0. So the del v by del y term here we replace it with which term? We replace it with the term minus del u by del x. Then this minus term goes away, it becomes plus. Okay, then what is the total left hand side time? Side. Then for the calculating the LHS, first put the first term, the second term. The first term equal to v infinity into u infinity plus then this term we will get it. There is another v infinity, u infinity. This is coming from this side. Okay, there is a term u del u by del x into dy 0 to delta. This term is also there. Then 2 into 0 to delta u del u by del x into dy, right? So let's simplify it. We can take the u inside and divide the thing with the half. Okay, because once you differentiate with u square, del u square by del u into del u by del x will be there. So del u square by del u will get you to what? This will give you to 2. Then this term we can write it like that. The total LHS we can write it now u infinity v infinity plus 0 to delta del u square by del x into integration with respect to del y, right? Dy. Then now what term we have here? V infinity. Reality there is not such V infinity exist. Already we have calculated the value of V infinity from the mass continuity equation. Okay. So now let's replace the value of the V infinity from the mass continuity equation. Okay. Here it become U infinity. The V infinity become how much? V infinity become minus 0 to delta del u by del x into dy. Okay. So this is become u infinity 0 to delta del u by del x into dy, and this term or the second term in the left hand side, they will remain same as 0 to delta del u square by del x dy, right? So now what will happen? There is a differentiation under the integral sign, right? So to move the differential operator and integral operator, they can be interchanged, right? To do so, what we need? We need to use the Leibniz rule for the differentiation of our integral sign, right? So what this is showing? So the derivative with respect to x of a function, which is both the function of x and y, if you do the integration with respect to dy, then maybe the limit may be function of x and limit may be function of upper limit and lower limit. Both are function of x and y. If it is a constant limit, then what we can do? If it is a constant limit, we can directly interchange the integration and differentiation directly. But when the integration limit, they are the function of another variable itself, then we have to follow the Leibniz rule. So what this Leibniz rule is telling? In the Leibniz rule, I can now take the differential operator inside the integral sign. So ax to bx del f by del x dy. Okay. At the same time, my limit, when I'm taking the derivative inside, my limit are also the function of x. That's why it will how much? Plus f of x at which point y? Y is equal to b of x and into del b by del x minus this is for the upper limit minus f of x at a of x into del a by del x. This is the lower limit, right? So if you compare this Leibniz rule of integration with the present case, what you will find? Our f is equal to how much? F is equal to our, for the first term, the f is equal to u, right? The a of x, the lower limit equal to 0. The b of x, the higher limit is equal to delta. Similarly, for the second term, f is equal to u square. The lower limit a of x is equal to 0. The higher limit b of x is equal to delta, right? To doing so, now apply the Leibniz rule. So if you apply the Leibniz rule right now, here inside differential the derivative operator is inside the integral sign. We can bring the derivative operator outside as an ordinary differential, because once we integrate with respect to y, the remaining term is the function of only x. That's why we bring the differentiation inside the integral, outside in terms of the ordinary differential equation d by del x 0 to delta. This u term will be there, u del y, right? So I will not change anything. Minus, then what? This minus, if you do that things, this term become how much? The a term, because b term will be a term will be 0 because our lower limits are constant in this case, and b term, whatever the b term over there, that will be subtracted from this side. Okay, minus f equal to how much? F is equal to u infinity over the f of x and b of x, and db by dx. db by dx is how much? Our b of x is equal to delta. So d delta by del x, right? db by dx, then f of x at b x. So b of x means our y is equal to sigma. What is the value of u? Our function at y is equal to sigma. The function, the value of u is equal to u infinity, right? So if you do that, so this term is equal to this term minus this term. This term is going to 0 because our lower limit is constant. So by doing so, this the left side term which is reproduced, as by the summation of del by del x of 0 to the delta u del y minus u infinity del by delta by del x. Similarly, for the second term, what you do? The derivative on under the integral side, first we do what? We bring the derivative outside, ordinary derivative, then 0 to delta integration of the variable function itself minus u infinity square into del delta by del x. Here what we did? Again, we bring the this term outside, that the function at the value of b is equal to x is equal to how much? U infinity. Then its functional value equal to u infinity square. The u is equal to, if u infinity, the functional value will be u infinity square into del of delta by del x, right? Then by putting these two terms, the LHS, the left hand side, now reduced to the form what? You find it. We'll put u infinity. We'll take the common u infinity from there. Okay, this side and this side. U infinity 0 to delta u del u. Okay, minus u infinity del u infinity term will be there. This is d del by del x. For this term, I proposed. I left side bracket. Similarly, for the right side, directly whatever the term I got over here, that directly I can put over here, right? So here, what term? This here the term minus u infinity, and this is minus u infinity. This is minus u infinity. This term is going to be plus, and similar term is this side. They are going to cancel each other. Two term, right? What are the two terms? Del by del x. If you again bring everything onto the same integral, because this with respect to del by del x, this is with respect to del by del x, and integrated with respect to the y. That's why I bring it negative, and here this is the positive. So bring the positive to the left side and negative by default to the right side. I did the algebra to arrange those things, which is become 0 to delta u square minus u into u infinity total left hand side, right? Now calculate the right hand side. Okay, in the right hand side, right? So what is the diffusion term is there in a transverse nu del square u by del y square into dy. If you integrate minus nu del u by del y, okay, at 0 minus at sigma at the free stream when delta equals to then when y is equal to delta, what is the shear vanishes, del u by del y equal to 0, because there is no more shear in the above the boundary layer. So that's why that term becomes 0. Minus lower limit, upper limit equal to 0, minus mu into del u by del y at y is equal to 0, right? Now equate the Navier-Stokes equation, boundary layer governing equation and the right side. Okay, by doing so, in the left side, I got the equation from here. The left side equal to d by dx of 0 to delta u square minus u into u infinity dy. Okay. I put this term left side. And equating, if you equate both the term, okay, algebraic arrangement, that here the negative sign is there. To make it positive, I just change the order of the term presented over there. Just multiply both sides by. Kind of solution was first provided by Prantl student, whose his name very famous because before the Second World War, he left Germany and he moved to United States. He has a big role in establishment of the aerospace development research in the United States. Okay, during his PhD under the tau omega. Tau omega is how much? Walsh-Yer at a particular point. The Walsh-Yer at a particular mu del u by del y at y. That is something like Walsh-Yer, right? So this mu is equal to how much? This mu is equal to dynamic viscosity. So the mu is equal, we can write it tau omega by rho mu. We can write it mu. Here we can bring the delta rho this side. It will become mu, right? Because both equations are divided by density. So tau omega by rho equal to nu into del u by del y is equal to 0. Here we have a nu into del u by del y equal to tau equal to 0. So this is nothing but, so this term tau omega by rho equal to how much? Tau omega by rho equal to del by del x 0 to delta u into u infinity minus u square into dy, where tau omega represents the wall shear stress, right? So now there is a normal procedure to normalize the wall shear stress. What is the procedure? Calculate the actual value of the wall shear stress and take the ratio with respect to the free stream kinetic energy, right? So then I divide both sides of the tau omega as rho u infinity square. Then rho is already this term over here. The remaining term I did it what? I divided the remaining term by u infinity square, right? If I do the division by u infinity square, this term called how much? U by u infinity square. Then this is u by u infinity, right? This is u square by u infinity square. This is u by u infinity square, right? So what I did from this term, I take by u infinity common. Then this is become how much? The d by del x 0 to delta u by u infinity. If you take the common, the wall shear non-dimensional form of the wall shear stress is how much? Equals to u by integration 0 to delta u by u infinity into bracket 1 minus u by u infinity into dy. Okay. So now we got the value of the wall shear stress, but we don't know what is the solution. Still we don't want to find out this integration and differentiation. We need to the value of u, how u is a function of y. Once we find out, then we can do the integration, then whatever the remaining terms in the x in terms of the function of x, then we can do the differentiation to find it. Okay. So then there is another student of Prandtl, his name is Pohalson. Okay. He approximated the profile of a boundary layer and solved the von Karman equation. What is this approximation? In the earlier lecture already we have come across similarity solution. We have seen that along the x direction, okay, depending on the position of the x, the boundary layer shape is changing, but the profile remains constant. The profile remains identical, right? So with the same approximation, we have derived u by u infinity equals to some function of y by delta. We are telling the similarity of the scaling parameter, similarity transform parameter. This f of y by delta, this is some scaling parameter or the similarity parameter eta, that is the function, right? So this Pohalson approximated the function f of eta equals to polynomial equation of order 3. You can take a higher order polynomial, but again to get the polynomial coefficient, we know the boundary condition. So Pohalson approximated, even if it's not an infinite algebraic series, it may be finite polynomial series, we can do it. He has taken up the third order polynomial series, a0, a1, a2, a3. There are 4 unknown coefficients which need to be determined. To determine this 4 unknown coefficient, we need boundary condition. Okay, what are the boundary condition? At y is equal to 0, u is equal to 0, no slip boundary condition. Y is equal to delta, u is equal to u infinity. This is because the first free stream, at the free stream u equal to u infinity. At y is equal to delta, del u by del y equals to 0 means at the boundary at the boundary layer, the gradient of the velocity that vanishes. At y is equal to 0, del square u by del y square equals to 0, right? The shear stress will not change more. The rate of change of the shear stress, they will not change with respect to if you take another derivative of the shear stress, this will vanish, right? If you substitute these two 4 value, okay, there are 4 unknown. Once the substitution you will do accordingly, we will get a0 value equals to 0, a1 value equals to 3 by 2, a2 value equals to 0, a4 value equals to minus 1 by 2. Okay, now let's put all these things coefficient. Then u by u infinity becomes 3 by 2 eta minus 1 by 2 eta cube, right? Now what is eta? Now eta is equal to y by delta, right? Then del eta equal to how much? Del eta equals to, del eta equals to this delta into del eta equals to del y, right? As y tends to delta, eta tends to 1, because y tends to delta means at the boundary layer top, the scaling parameter of the transform parameter should be equal to 1. Then now put the velocity profile in the derived governing equation over here. Tau by tau rho u infinity square equals to this term. So here replace the u okay, with the approximated polynomial value of the u. By doing so, by replacing u by u infinity, we got this term, right? Here u by u infinity, here 1 minus u by u infinity. We have to do what? We have to integrate with respect to eta, right? Now, one thing you can notice over here, these are the definite integration. Okay, how much complicated function it is after the product is a lengthy function. Once you multiply and carry out the integration is possible because all are algebraic term over here. Once you do it integration, the resulting term is no more a function of eta, right? It's a constant kind of thing because once you find the function with respect to eta and put the limit, this is no more the function of the eta. It's a constant kind of thing. Then that constant I have taken k, right? Del by del x of k into delta I have taken, right? Then again, the shear stress at the wall equal to how much? The shear stress of the wall across the wall. So shear stress at the wall equal to mu into del u by del y at y is equal to 0, right? Then here, what you do? You do u equals to bring u infinity this time and differentiate with respect to y, right? So del u by del y equals to, again, this similarity parameter. Once you differentiate with respect to y, first we have to differentiate the function with respect to eta, then eta with respect to y. This is in basic chain rule, okay? And del u by del y equals to how much? U infinity term come outside because it is multiplied this side, u infinity into once you differentiate with respect to eta, 3 by 2, eta by eta equal to 3 by 2, then minus, this is minus 3 by 2 n square, right? Into del eta by del y equal to how much? Del eta by del y equal to 1 by delta, right? If you simplify this term, at y is equal to 0, at y is equal to 0, eta is equal to how much? Eta is equal to 0. So at y is equal to 0, del u by del y equal to how much? 3 by 2 u infinity by delta at y is equal to 0. Okay, then let's see the Karman and Poisson method for polynomial approximation. Okay, so here we can go over here with tau omega by rho u infinity square, that is a non-dimensional shear stress. Okay, equal to how much? D by dx of k into the delta. Okay, equal to 3 by 2 d by dx of k by delta. Then from here, while shear stress, we found it that del u by del y equals at y is equal to 0 equal to 3 by 2 u infinity by delta. That term I put it over 3 by 2 u infinity by delta. Then mu is there and mu and all the terms subjected to rho by u infinity division square over here. Okay, here del u by del y, to find out the shear stress, we have to multiply with mu, and to make one-dimensional, we have to differentiate with u rho u infinity square. By doing so, this term comes over here, right? So now, if you equate these two terms, okay, then now do the variable separable thing, right? This is d of delta. This is k become a constant. Okay, k, let the k over here. Now the separate the variable. This is d delta. Okay, if delta into d delta, delta is over here. If this delta comes this side, delta into d delta, okay, equals to how much? 3 by 2k. The k will come this side, 3 by 2k. Mu by rho u infinity. Okay, the u infinity u infinity cancel over here. Okay, rho by u infinity and into multiplied by the dx. Okay, now you integrate both the sides. If you integrate both the sides, delta d delta, the integration equal to how much? Delta square by 2, this is an indefinite integration, right? Plus 3 by 2k mu by rho infinity square dx integration equal to how much? X. There is some constant of integration because it's an indefinite integration. To eliminate that constant, what we need? We need some condition. As you told, the boundary layer is singular at y is equal to 0. So let's say the value of x tends to the boundary layer from the positive side. Then delta tends to 0 at the initial point. The boundary layer is singular and we are approaching the boundary layer from the positive side. That at x is equal to 0 plus delta is equal to 0. If you put this result over here, then c becomes 0. Then what is the remaining term? So delta square by 2 equals to 3 by 2. This mu by rho becomes mu by u infinity into x, right? Then the 2 also cancel. I bring what? I bring x this side. Okay. Delta by x to the square equals to 3 by k into mu by u infinity into x. Now you can imagine the delta by x is equal to the square root of this thing. Okay, what is the square root of nu by u infinity into x? This is something Reynolds number based upon the position. Okay, 1 by Reynolds number. This is Reynolds number is equal to u infinity x by nu. Okay, if you look at this term, this is the 1 by Reynolds number, and there is a radical sign. Means if you do the things, it will be Reynolds number based on the location x to the power minus 0.5. Then this 3 by k terms with respect to the integral side. This 3 by 2 term is nothing but 4.64. Just like we did in the previous classes from the tabular or from the reading, they got it. This 3 by k term, this is account 4.64. Okay. Then this is the boundary layer. Del by del x is equal to these things. Then the boundary layer thickness is equal to how much? Del x is equal to 4.64 Reynolds number based on the position of the position Reynolds number at any point x on the location. Reynolds number at that point to the power minus 5 into x. Okay. Then we have to find the skin friction coefficient. Again, the skin friction, local skin friction coefficient equal to how much? This is the wall shear stress tau omega divided by the kinetic energy of the free stream. If you do so, here if you divide it with the thing with 1 by 2 rho u infinity square and take the algebraic expression, it is become how much? This is become 0.64 into Reynolds number based on the x to the power minus 0.5, right? So it is a local drag coefficient. To get the coefficient of the drag, we have to integrate the whole equation along the length of the boundary layer that we have did earlier. So similarly, once you integrate the equation by putting the coefficient of drag that we did for the previous solution, okay, here. Yeah, here as you do local coefficient, here as you did the integration over the whole boundary layer, okay, to get the drag coefficient. If you do the integration over here, just we did it from the similarity transform solution. The way if you do it, okay, this will get the skin friction coefficient of the drag equals to 1.292 into Reynolds number to the power minus 0.5, right? So now this is what the solution, what is the primitive variable of interest we got over here by integrating the momentum equation. That's why it is called momentum integral method. And this method was established by von Karman, and it through Poisson solution, Poisson approximation, we finally got a solution which is very similar to earlier two solution, that is the scaling analysis solution and the similarity transform solution. Okay, so now this is the end of the solution for the momentum integral method. So there are another few important things in the boundary layer. What they are? They are the displacement thickness. So physically understand what is the displacement thickness. This is suppose inviscid fluid. Okay, the amount of flow that is coming here, the amount of flows will be go up from the other side. If the flow is inviscid, just like a Bernoulli flow kind of thing, in a pipe flow, there won't be any substantial reduction in velocity from the boundary towards the top because of the no slip condition. This parabolic velocity was established. If you look, the amount of flow that is coming here should be amount of flow that should be go away from this any section of the boundary layer. But what happened? The velocity normally here is very high, but the velocity at this location where the boundary layer at the vicinity of the solid surface equal to 0 on the boundary layer. That's why take a parabolic profile to accommodate the same amount of the flow, okay, that is incoming, to pass the same amount of flow at any cross section. What will happen? There is additional thickness that extends beyond the boundary layer. Okay, so that up to this thickness, okay, the amount of, so if I consider boundary layer thickness and some additional thickness, then in this total thickness of the boundary layer, the amount of the flow passing is equals to exactly the amount of flow that is coming to the boundary layer from here with the free stream velocity, right? So with that notation, let's calculate what is the velocity over here, sorry, mass flow over here. Mass flow over here equals to rho, okay, into u infinity delta. This is the cross section for two-dimensional geometry. If you multiply rho into u infinity, this is the volume flow rate, and once you multiply with the cross section area, you will get the mass flow rate over here. Clear? What is the mass flow rate over this side? The mass flow rate at this side equal to mass flow from here to here within boundary layer plus mass flow in the displacement thickness, that is the area just above the boundary layer, to accommodate the same amount of flow. Okay, to find it, what is the flow inside the boundary layer, we have to do what? Rho 0 to boundary layer, we have to do the integration 0 to boundary layer u into dy, that is the volume flow rate, into, if you integrate with respect to dy, it will give us the amount of flow passing through this surface, plus rho, because in the free stream, that is the velocity u infinity. Okay, rho into the limit should be from delta to delta plus delta star, that is the boundary layer thickness, into u infinity into dy, right? So now u infinity is a constant, right? So delta to delta star dy become how much? Delta to delta star dy becomes, if you integrate dy, it will become y. If you put the upper minus lower limit, this is become delta star, right? What is the left hand side? Okay, the rho cancel from all this right and left hand side. So the left hand side becomes 0 to delta u into dy, right? So now this u infinity into delta, we can write it in other form. 0 to delta, as u infinity is a constant, we can bring it inside into dy. If you do the integration of this term, u infinity, because of the constant, this will come out. Dy integration equal to y. If you put the limit, it becomes delta. So this term in the left side, I can write it 0 to delta u infinity till y, right? There are right hand side equal to 0 to delta u into dy plus u infinity into delta star, right? Now bring this term to the left side. Okay, if you do bring this term to the left side, 0 to delta u infinity minus u into dy equals to u infinity into delta star. Let's divide u infinity both sides. Okay. Once you divide u infinity both sides, delta star equals to 0 to delta 1 minus u by u infinity into dy. Okay, this gives me the additional thickness. That's the boundary layer is extended towards the free stream direction in order to accommodate the same amount of flow that is coming. That is called displacement thickness. This, why the name displacement? This is the amount of the length, that is the boundary layer should get displaced in order to accommodate the same amount of flow in the any cross section of the boundary layer that is coming to the boundary layer, right? So this is called displacement thickness. But how to evaluate it further? Okay, the displacement thickness delta star equals to 0 to delta 1 minus u by u infinity into dy, right? So now you see over here, at the, this is the, because of the displacement thickness, what happened? Because here in the boundary layer, the flow, because of the presence of the solid plate, it is slowed down, right? If that is not there, the total length is there. Okay, this is a displacement thickness. If this, because of this small displacement thickness, if you are considered and provide the uniform velocity, the same amount of flow will get it over here, right? So now to compute this thing, what you do? U by u infinity is again how much? U by u infinity is again our scaling factor, that is the eta. Okay, the eta equals to y by delta equal to u by infinity. Laplace solution already we have done. Okay, so delta into eta, okay, equals to y. Then take the derivative of the side, delta into d eta equals to dy by transformation of the variable. In this here you put it delta square, delta star. Here what will come? The in terms of the u by u infinity, we will put f dash, because u by u infinity already in the Gaussian solution. Okay, the similarity transformation. Here the u by u infinity already we have assumed what? This is f, right? F of n. Then the capital F already we have assumed the capital F star over here. The F star means the capital F dash equals to F, right? Because of the capital D, capital F by D, eta equals to small f. So instead of the small f, we can write capital F dash, that is the derivative with respect to f. By doing so, okay, by doing so, here we do what? Here there is a dy term, dy equal to how much? Delta into d eta. So now the delta terms come outside. This is become 0 to u infinity 1 minus f dash into eta integration, right? Then the ratio of boundary layer thickness to, sorry, the ratio of displacement thickness to boundary layer thickness is a non-dimensional quantity. We can express it how much? If we integrate this term from the 0 to infinity, okay, this d eta become eta minus this is f dash become f. at n 0 to infinity, if you put the proper limit from the tabular solution, what we got for the gaseous thing, we can get this is become nu infinity minus f of nu infinity, and this term is nothing but a computable term 1.7208. So delta star equals to 1.7208. What exactly is meaning? Okay. So there is, apart from the boundary layer thickness area, the we have to consider around 1.72 times the boundary layer thickness, that much of area to accommodate the amount of flow that is coming from the inlet. Okay, this is called displacement thickness. Similarly, there is a concept of momentum thickness, right? The momentum of the fluid that is coming over here, that still substantially goes on changing because of the no slip condition. Here the velocity goes on changing. The momentum thickness is described that amount of thickness that the boundary layer shifted to accommodate the momentum balance. The total momentum we are getting of the fluid over here, that momentum should be span over some range over here, equal momentum, because here, because of the solid boundary, they slow down the fluid velocity and the fluid loses some momentum over here. The free stream momentum to this momentum, to accommodate this momentum, we have to go certain distance above the boundary layer to get some area where that this momentum and this momentum equals to same. So the momentum at A equal to how much? Momentum equal to how much? Momentum equals to mass flow rate into velocity. The mass flow rate equals to volume flow rate into the density. Okay, U infinity into delta. Delta is the cross section area. U infinity is the velocity. If you multiply these two, this will give volume flow rate. Then we multiply this will give you the mass flow rate. Mass flow rate times velocity is equals to momentum. This is the momentum at the section A, right? Similarly, what is the momentum at the section B? Momentum at the section equals to momentum inside the boundary layer plus momentum, that is the boundary layer momentum thickness of the amount of thickness or amount of distance that the boundary layer is pushed to balance the momentum. Okay, 0 to delta. Okay, rho u square into dy plus this is the amount the boundary layer is pushed to accommodate the mass flow rate, because the same amount of mass we have to compute the momentum. Here we have find out, okay, delta star, the same amount of mass we have to compute the momentum. What is the mass is coming over here, that mass is going over here. So then this term over here, the right side term, okay, momentum at B equals to the momentum inside the boundary layer plus the velocity displacement thickness, that area momentum. Okay, so the change in net change in momentum from here to here. Okay, the net change in momentum from here to here to calculate what to do. We reduce the momentum from here to momentum from here, right? Sorry, I earlier did a mistake. What I did, I just assumed that momentum here equals to momentum here. That is not correct. The mass flow at this section here equals to the mass flow at this section here over here. Considering the extended boundary, displacement thickness. The momentum, there is some change in momentum because of the presence of the solid boundary. We have to compute that fraction of the change in momentum. The change in momentum we can calculate by this way: momentum at A minus momentum at B. To calculate that momentum at A equal to how much? Rho u infinity square into delta. Okay, minus momentum at B equals to 0 to delta rho u square dy minus rho u infinity square into delta star. This is not delta. This is delta star, right? What is delta star? Delta star already we found it that 0 to delta into 1 minus u by u infinity into dy. Okay, the same value of the delta star we put over here in the next line. So and did some algebraic manipulation. So the rho u infinity square delta. Then here we interest the delta star. We put this expression, right? Now you can see that there, if you expand it, so there is a term rho u infinity square and the dy. If you integrate it, it becomes delta. So this term and this term is going to be cancel each other, right? For the remaining term, minus rho 0 to delta u square dy plus this two is a minus term. If you multiply, this is become the plus term. Okay, the u infinity 1 u infinity square and 1 u infinity will cancel over here each other. Then equal u into u infinity into dy due to delta, right? So the net change in momentum should be positive because there is a force on the boundary layer direction. So the net rate of change of momentum should be positive. Okay, then we can bring everything under the single integral side. Rho 0 to delta u into u infinity minus u square equals to dy, because u at any point u infinity is always higher than u. At you consider any point u infinity is higher than u. So this is the same quantity multiplied with a higher quantity, and the same quantity is multiplied with the same quantity. Definitely, if you do the subtraction, this quantity is always a positive quantity, right? Clear? Then multiply here what? Here I have taken u infinity square as a common from both the things. If you bring the u infinity square outside, this is become 0 to delta u by u infinity into 1 minus u by u infinity into dy. Here just I get the u infinity outside. Okay. Then this much of momentum, the amount of this change in the momentum is equal to how much? That divided by rho infinity square, rho into u infinity square. That term I named it as momentum thickness. Clear? So here, this rate of change of momentum, when I divide with the free stream kinetic energy, then this is become my momentum thickness equation. That represented as delta double star, right? This is the additional rate of change of momentum per unit mass, right? So that represented by 0 to delta u by u infinity 1 minus u by u infinity dy, right? The momentum thickness is defined as the deficit per unit momentum of free stream fluid due to boundary layer growth. Because of the no slip, there is some fluid is retarded, and this momentum thickness defines that amount of area. You can simplify it. Okay, 0 to delta u by u infinity into 1 minus u by u infinity dy, right? If you do little bit simplification and put the expression u by u eta u by u infinity equals to the transform variable f and which is equals to the prime of the capital F dash. Okay, as we have seen later, this term becomes u by u infinity become capital F dash, and this term equal 1 minus capital F dash into dn, right? So now dy become how much? Dy becomes delta into the dn, right? Now the momentum thickness to the boundary layer thickness. This is the momentum thickness to the boundary layer thickness. The ratio become 0 to infinity f dash f prime into 1 minus f prime dn. So now you can integrate across the boundary layer, we will get the value 0.662, just like the table we have seen in the last year solution. Okay, from this tabular data you can get the information, f dash information, right? At mu is equal to 0, mu is equal to 1. If you put those value, okay, at the definite integral, okay, the momentum thickness value will become 0.664. Okay, then this is normally known as, okay, the momentum thickness to boundary layer thickness. This is around 0.662. Means what it is telling, because of the presence of the boundary layer or the growth of the boundary layer, almost 0.664 into delta, that amount of momentum deficit is found in the free stream flow. Okay, so now there is another ratio which is known as shape factor or H. This defines the ratio of what? This defines the ratio of the displacement thickness, okay, to momentum thickness. Displacement thickness to momentum thickness. This ratio represents the shape factor, depends upon the shape of the velocity profile, right? Similarly, we are now going for the kinetic energy, right? The kinetic, what amount of kinetic energy changes because of the boundary layer growth, we are going to find out. Just in the momentum, half into momentum, you multiplied with, this is the mass flow rate, half into rho u infinity into delta. This represents the mass flow rate, mass into u infinity square. This is the kinetic energy, right? This is the energy thickness means kinetic energy. Rho u infinity delta. This represents the mass inlet at this position. When I multiply them with u infinity square and multiply with the half, this represents the kinetic energy at this section. Similarly, the net kinetic energy at this section, the section that allows the total flow of the mass, including the displacement thickness, that section. If you consider that section, kinetic energy of section B equal to how much? 0 to sigma within the boundary layer, half. This will be rho uq dy, right? Because here the mass flow rate equal to u, rho u delta, delta it will be y, Okay, the dy for a small distance it will be dy, and that will be multiplied by the u square. If you do like that, this is 0 to delta half rho u q dy. This is the mass per kinetic energy of the flow within the boundary layer, plus there is kinetic energy flow beyond the boundary layer. What is the value? This is their value is half rho to infinity to the power cube into delta star. Okay, delta star is equal to how much? The displacement thickness. Then the net change in kinetic energy, or the deficit in the kinetic energy equal energy at here minus energy at here. So energy at here minus energy at here, if you can't do it, okay, half the rho u infinity q over here, delta star, this will be this side. Then this side I can put it over here. Okay, half rho u infinity q delta. Okay, minus this term, right? So in terms of the thickness, displacement thickness, we can present this functional value of the displacement thickness over here. That we did over here. The functional value of the displacement thickness we derive over here. Okay, that value of the displacement thickness we put over here. Okay, and now this is nothing but some algebraic simplification. This to calculate the bring under the integral, I take it rho u infinity q is a constant quantity, delta I put it what 0 to delta dy. Okay, this is the thing I put it over here. In terms of the delta, I put 0 to delta. This is rho into ui. Okay, and this become how much? This term and this term is going to cancel each other. The net difference will simplification half or within the integral sign 0 to delta rho u infinity q into u by u infinity minus rho u q into dy, right? So after doing further algebraic simplification, you will find this term is nothing but half rho u infinity q into integration of 0 to delta u by u infinity into 1 minus u square by u infinity square once you have to integrate it over the dy, right? So by putting the value, this is known as the deficit in energy. Okay, because of the growth of the boundary layer, this is known as energy thickness. So now the energy thickness is how much? This term. Okay, because we have energy thickness per unit energy. If you put it over here, okay, this will be cancel each other. Okay, rho into u infinity q. This will put it over here for unit energy, kinetic energy for the unit mass flow. If you calculate this term represent the kinetic energy of the unit mass flow. If you divide those things with the net change in kinetic energy, okay, you will get the kinetic rate of change in kinetic energy per unit mass flow. That is equals to delta dot triple star or energy thickness. That will become to 0 to delta u by u infinity into 1 minus u square by u infinity square dy. Just like again principle of similarity transformation, we can over here what we can do over here. We can just replace the variable over here with the similarity variable theta and the functional variable f dash. Okay, so by doing so, u by u infinity equal to small f or capital F prime. Okay, then u by u infinity square become capital F prime to the whole square. Okay, then dy become how much? Sigma into dn, right? So now you are the energy thickness to displacement thickness, this ratio equal how much? 0 to u infinity f dash into 1 minus f dash square into dn. So now what you can do, I left over here, now here from here onward, we can compute this integral and put the lower and upper bound value from the available value of the table. Then we can get the ratio of ratio of energy thickness to the boundary layer thickness. Okay, this is all about momentum integral equation for a boundary layer over a flat plate and what are the physical significance of energy thickness, momentum thickness, and displacement thickness. So with this thing, I stop the presentation for the boundary layer solution by momentum integral method here, and I request you to ask any of the doubt, any of the question concerning to this video class you can please feel free to communicate. Yes, sir. Yes, Rajat, please proceed. Okay. I'll again explain physically. You understood the physical significance of the displacement thickness? Yeah. Because of the presence of the solid, what happened? The boundary layer in the free stream region, they retarded. Here, they're moving in the same velocity. Because of the presence of the solid, what happened? The velocity here equal to 0. So the normal, whatever the velocity over here, they gradually goes on decreasing because of the solid. So in order to the universal, the continuity is what? The universal continuity is the mass continuity. Whatever the mass is coming, that mass of mass is equal to go. So in order to find out the same mass of the fluid which is coming over here, because of the growth of the boundary layer, they are pushed little bit away from the boundary layer thickness, right? To facilitate the same amount of growth, this is coming because of the growth of the boundary layer. Instead of moving inside the boundary layer, they pushed a little bit distance over here. That distance, the pushing distance from the boundary layer towards the free stream, that distance we call it as displacement thickness. Okay. Now again, because of the growth of boundary layer, the mass is balanced, but we have some momentum deficit because the momentum at here may not be momentum at here because it is pushed over there. That momentum deficit from the inlet cross thickness of the boundary layer to the actual position of the boundary layer, there if we consider the momentum deficit, that is represented by what? That is represented by momentum thickness. The momentum thickness defined as the momentum deficit per unit momentum of the free stream fluid due to the boundary layer growth. Okay. Similarly, there is again not only momentum, kinetic energy will be different from the inlet to the kinetic energy from the position boundary layer growth position we are measuring. So because of that, okay, because of the present displacement thickness, there is some difference in kinetic energy at the inlet to the kinetic energy at the displacement location, right, or the boundary layer growth location. So that represent the energy thickness is defined as energy deficit, that is the energy shortage or energy deficit for unit kinetic energy of the free stream of the fluid due to boundary layer growth. If boundary layer have not been growth, the energy at here, the kinetic energy at the here, kinetic energy at the here, they remains same. Because the boundary layer growth, the velocity slowed down, some kinetic energy is lost over here. Because as a whole, again, the question is total kinetic energy is going to be constant. That's why some kinetic energy compensate in this zone. But within the boundary layer, some kinetic energy is losing within the boundary layer thickness. So that deficit in the kinetic energy per unit the energy thickness defined as the deficit or unit kinetic energy of the free stream fluid due to the boundary layer growth. Similarly, the momentum here and here should be remain constant because of the boundary layer growth. Momentum here not equal to momentum here. Okay, the momentum here equals to total momentum in the total section, but within the boundary layer there is some loss of momentum. That loss of momentum is represented by momentum thickness. Loss of kinetic energy is represented by energy thickness. Yeah, here we did it per unit momentum of the force. Okay, we don't know the third direction. There is a third direction also you have to assume. So that's why we are assume per unit momentum, right? Here we are assume per unit kinetic energy. Okay, here some you don't know what is the total kinetic energy coming over here. Okay, so why we are doing it per unit? You imagine last we divided by rho u infinity square over here. There rho u infinity q over here. So this is a total kinetic energy. We don't know the amount of total kinetic energy. We know, suppose the kinetic energy at this location is some amount, let it take x. For x kinetic energy, the total mass of the fluid, if you calculate, we get the unit momentum, right? Per unit mass, what is the momentum of the fluid? We get over here. So sorry. The total momentum will get over here. Then the total momentum here will get the loss of the momentum. So per unit momentum, here the loss of momentum to total momentum, that will give you the what? That will give you the net loss per unit momentum. Clear? Now it is clear? Here we have some loss in momentum. Once you divide the loss in momentum with the total momentum, that will give you the quantity, what? The unit per unit momentum, what is the momentum loss. Similarly, for in the energy thickness, for unit whole energy to a loss of energy to the whole energy, once you divide it, it will give you the loss of energy in this boundary layer section for unit energy of the incoming fluid. Yes, yes, yes. This is a non-dimensional thing finally. If you look, this is a non-dimensional thing. Correct. Yeah, now we can close the video if there is